Hi guys, this is Mel, and I'm here to talk about the 100 episode 404 titled A Lie Guarded, which premiered Wednesday, February 22nd, 2017 on CW. Guys, seriously, that episode messed me up. I'm still coming down from a tear fest right now, and it's only been 4 minutes. It's only been 4 minutes since the episode has officially ended. My eyes are still wet from my tears, and just, oh my god. But I wanted to start talking about it, raw emotion and all that. So huge spoiler alert right now. Huge spoiler alert. Go watch the episode so you can be as wrecked as I am with emotion, and then come back to see what I have to say about the episode. Otherwise, my other reminders are on screen right now. Have a quick moment to just remind yourselves, and then let's start with the 10-minute clock. And let's begin with what the hell happened in this episode. So timeline-wise, we get confirmation from Roan that it's been 3 weeks since 401, since he's been told about Prime Fire happening again from Clark. So 3 weeks from that. Episode reminder, pretty much I'm calling it war breaks out, mainly because the alliances are broken, all hell breaks loose, you can kind of say, especially within its different factions. So there's that. Episode objectives not really as clear to me as it was usually. It's pretty much kind of reign in the chaos, but it seems that's broken out. So storyline wise though, guys, it's mainly based on location. So first one's with Arcadia, second with Polis, and the next is the island that Allie was situated on. I guess you can call it Becca's Island as well, though. So first storyline with Arcadia basically deals with the fact that Monty and Jasper found the 100 list. So with Jasper threatens to expose it, Clark imprisons him. Kind of similar to how Jaha imprisoned Clark when she was going to expose the fact that the Ark was dying. So kind of a little of a parallel there. Because of this, though, Monty reveals the list over the PA system, or over the radio, to everyone in Arcadia, and he actually names who is on the save to save list. He only does that because Clark made the decision to lock one of her friends up, even though he understood why he wasn't on the list. So it was confirmed that Abby, Raven, Jaha, and Octavia were pretty far up the list, so like they were one of the first names to be called. But Monty wasn't on the list, Jasper wasn't on the list, and Harper's not on the list. Jasper makes a point of telling Monty that he's not on it. I think there's a note that Miller's dad isn't on it, as like a comment, and then Monty points out that Harper's not on it. So there's that. There's some complaints about why Clark and Bellamy would be on the list, and Jaha supports the fact that they have to be on it because strong leadership is what they provide and it's what they need. But in the end, Jaha gives the people the option of a lottery, how 100 random names will be picked when the time comes, to kind of get people to work, saying that if you make your shifts and you do the work, you get entered into the lottery for a possible pick. So that's the chaos in Arcadia. Chaos in Polis, though, is the fact that Kane is forced to reveal the whole Nightblood situation with Rowan when Echo returns with reports that Arcadia was trying to fix their space station. Because of this, Rowan breaks the alliance with Sky Crew and Tree Crew, naming them enemies. He orders a kill order on all of them. He keeps Bellamy and Kane as his prisoners. He wants Indra and Octavia brought to him alive, but that doesn't go as planned. Octavia ends up fighting Echo to the point where Octavia gets stabbed and she falls off a cliff. Better to be taken alive, she says. So there's that, which just starts the emotional fest since it's near the end of the episode. Third storyline, though, deals with Becca's Island. This is where we get Abby taking a few people to deal with research on Luna's Nightblood. So we have Murphy and Amori leading transport, since they've been to the island and they know the layout of it. We got Miller bringing in some guards for security, Abby and Jackson for the medical research, Abby for the tech research, and then Luna and Nico for the whole grounder thing. But Nico gets killed, and Luna runs off on the island, not believing that the Sky Crew is best for them. Eventually, she comes back and works with Raven to save the other Arcadians from the hover drones that are still in working order. They're kind of protecting Becca's lab, which they finally get inside, and it's quite impressive, the lab that they have. So there's that. Last moments of the episode show Octavia being found on the shoreline by Helios, her horse, and she climbs up on top of him very slowly and tells him to take her home. So hopefully he takes her to Arcadia in time and she gets the medical treatment she needs for the stab wound that she got. I don't really have any tidbits, though. Can't really think of it in my emotional state right now. But ship status shows that Murphy actually saves Raven from their drones. They're not an official, or obviously not an official couple, but they're definitely still have that antagonistic thing going on between them. Raven still hates him, thinks he's still a dick, but Murphy still saves her from being shot down by a drone. And she actually thanks him for that later on. So there's that. Kate and Abby still communicate with each other through the radios. And that's how they keep each other updated. That's how Kate knows about the whole Nightblood research, and that Abby's gone to the island to make way for that, or make headway on that. So there's that. And we also see a bit of Clark and Bellamy in the form that Clark worries for Bellamy, who hasn't returned from a hunting trip, even though we know he's been captured by Ice Nation during his hunting trip. So there is that. Moving on to the most shocking moment of the episode, guys. I'm pretty sure the fact that Octavia got stabbed. I was kind of hoping that she would kill Echo in that scene. But the fact that not only does she get stabbed, which like breaks my heart, but then the fact that she falls over the cliff, that like makes it go even further. It's just like, no, they cannot kill Octavia off. She's come so far. She represents so many things. And then to have her at the very end be found by Helios and still breathing and just very weak, it definitely had my heart soaring. I was glad for that. I was really hoping for that. It might have been very low chance of her surviving a fall like that. But still, you don't want to see Octavia die. You don't want to see any of these characters die. But I'm glad that she at least has a fighting chance. But then that just leads me to my top 3 favorite moments. Now, I'm not going to start with my favorites exactly. I'm going with the most powerful scene has to be when Bellamy is told that Octavia is dead. That is literally the most gut-wrenching scene, and that is the one that really started the tears, because when Octavia got stabbed, when she fell off that cliff and Echo gave the "your fight is over, Octavia, the Sky People," that's like the tears are from. He's like, oh my god, what is Bellamy going to do when he finds this? Because everything he's ever done, his whole life has been with the sole purpose of saving Octavia, or being there for Octavia, or protecting Octavia. And then being told that his sister, his only family left, is now dead, and seeing him just break down the way he did, it's not my favorite scene just because of the heart-wrenching emotion behind it, but is definitely the most powerful scene. I mean, it got me in tears, and I'm welling up right now just talking about it. It was so painful to just see Bellamy lose it like this. And even though Rowan and Echo acknowledged the fact that it was an honorable death, or it was a good way for her to die, they gave off their warrior send off, and like they acknowledge how great of a warrior she was. But just for Bellamy, he lost the last of his family, and it broke my heart. And it's just me thinking about it, it's just it's really not doing me any good right now. Oh my god, sorry about that. Oh, take a moment though. But my goodness. This is why this episode really, really ruined me, guys. It really tore me up, because I thought it was tough when they showed some other stuff earlier in the episode, and we lost a few people there. But this one just really totally gut-wrenching and ripped my heart out and everything. So yeah, but let's try to go to my favorites now. Now, first one was the fact that I really like seeing Raven working with Luna and actually convincing Luna to actually help her, and just seeing Raven in her element when she took down the hover drones, and just really trying to tell Luna that this is not who we are. It's just they're all in a bad position right now, all trying to survive, and then eventually it'll get better. You just have to fight to get to that point. So I just really liked that we actually got to see Raven and Luna together, and we got to see the interaction between the two. Maybe the Luna's view on Raven might shift a bit, because there might be a little resentment over the fact that Raven wouldn't allow for the medication they used in the previous episode for the radiation sickness. So I'm glad we got to see some cooperation there. Second favorite moment, though, I have to say, is the fight scene between Octavia and Echo. It's only my favorite because we got to see the skill between these two women, and it was just fantastic. Kind of wish that it was Echo that got stabbed by Octavia, but that led to emotional outbursts, as you well know. Third favorite moment for me has to be Clark and Monty, and that's at the beginning of the episode. Not when Monty I like Clark and Monty up to the point where Monty exposes the list to Arcadia. There's the timer. Now, what I liked about it is the fact that Clark and Monty talk. They know what's going on and everything like that, and then up to the point where Monty understands why Clark wouldn't put him on the list. I really like that Monty does understand what the position that Clark is being put into. I really like that he showed that understanding, and it was just great to see that. And then it was also good to see him call her out on her actions of pretty much doing what Jaha had done to her, now doing it to Jasper, and just making the decisions that the old Clark, as he said, wouldn't have ever made beforehand. So it was really interesting to see Monty bring up that shift in Clark, even though technically she's kind of been put in the position where she has to make those decisions. So it's kind of interesting, but I really liked how the episode started with more of a Clark and Monty vibe to it. So I really missed that friendship for that. Okay, moving on to top 3 peeved. And the one peeve was the fact that Nico was killed at the beginning of the episode on the island. That really brought the first tears to my eyes in the episode. Once that happened, I immediately went to my list and went right to peeves and like, Nico is dead! Exclamation point. That is a huge peeve of mine. I love Nico. I was just thinking about, well, what if something happened between Nico and Luna after last episode, and then now they killed him off? I'm like, I'm not okay with that. I really like Nico. He was a strong connection that we still had to Lincoln, because they were still very good friends, or brothers even, I think they referred to themselves as, and now he's gone, and that's just, that doesn't help my heart right now. Next P moment was just a pissed off moment for me, is the fact that Jasper was a complete jackass in this episode, mainly in the whole black rain scene where he had people going over the fact that he was suffocating when it was really just rain. It's like, really, that's a dick move to do, especially when you're literally living in a situation where anything could kill you. And why would you take that risk? But for Jasper, he doesn't really care about dying. It's just like, oh, why not just mess with a few people? It's just like, no, not cool, as Monty said. Not cool at all. And I just don't like Jasper. Jasper was very good on comic relief and a very good character in the very early points of the season, but Matt Weather just screwed him up, and now he's just a big pain in the ass. And while I don't want to see him dead, I just want him to stop being such a douche, if that makes sense. Moving on, though, to what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode? Octavia's close call with death. That's for one. How about the fact that my heart got ripped out when I saw Bellamy react to the news that his sister was dead? So that's heart-wrenching right there. So there's that. Don't have any random questions. I didn't really have any to think about, since I really wanted to get to recording really right after watching the episode, as the emotions were fresh. So there's that. So let's move on to predictions very quickly. Based off the promo for 405, it looks like we're going to get Asgada against Arcadia. They made the comment on the fact that Arcadia has a lot more bullets than Ice Nation has warriors, so they're going to just gun them down in an instant. They're also contemplating over the fact that they can kill the king with one gunshot wound, but then doing one kill shot, I guess you could say, but doing so would instigate a war no matter what. So they're kind of at that situation right there. And just when Arcadia is kind of in the advantage, Rowan reveals that he has Kate and Bellamy as his prisoners, and Clark is being called as Waheda again. And Clark is just looking like floored over the fact that these two men, their chancellor pretty much, and Kane, and Bellamy, her second in command, and her partner, is now in the hands of her enemy. So it looks like it's going to be quite a standoff between the two of them. But based off the synopsis, though, for 405, it's something I love about these synopses. They don't give much away, so like you're still surprised, even if whatever the synopsis. Anyways, so Clark makes a desperate plea. It looks like Clark makes a desperate plea with the former Allied force in an attempt to avoid a war and ensure the survival of her people. So now that we see the trailer, it's obvious that Clark makes a desperate plea with King Rowan in an attempt to avoid a war and ensure the survival of her people. Desperate plea could not only be for her people's safety, but also for the survival of Kane and Bellamy. What I am waiting for, though, is the fact that if Arcadia is ready for the arrival or the ambush of Asgeda, then maybe Octavia had gotten to Arcadia and warned them about the attack. Maybe that's why they're ready. And if that's the case, that means Octavia is still alive. And if Bellamy's there, maybe, hopefully he will see that his sister's alive and doesn't have to live with the grief of his sister being so dead for a long time. Like, I really hope he gets that grief just cleared up and taken care of, because just seeing his reaction just really, it really tears you up. Like, for a man who doesn't really show much emotion, aside from being, like, guilt or, like, bottled up anger and stuff, like, he shows very distinct emotions, but he doesn't really show them much. It's always in the little subtleties of what he does. But this one, he really, floodgates just opened, and it's like in those moments where, you know, he's feeling so much that he can't hold it in, type thing. So I really can't not wait for the moment Bellamy learns or sees for himself that his sister is alive. I really want to see that. I hope he hugs her and he doesn't let go, and it's just like there's that moment. So I'm still not okay after this episode, but what did you guys think of the episode? What did you guys like about it? What do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear your own thoughts, theories, opinions about what you thought of this episode. Please let me know if you cried as well, or if this episode just ruined your emotional state, because I really want to know, because I hope I'm not the only one who just got floored with so many emotions because of this. So please let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I read blog promos, web clips, quotes, GIFs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place. So go check it out. It's pretty much the most reblog show that I do. Just there's so much of it out there. So there's that. Also, it's connected to my WordPress account, so you can go check me out there. It's a little more organized over there, but it's still a work in progress. But you're attached to everything I post online through that, as well as through here, but it's more organized over there. So go check me out and follow me there if you like. And that's about it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you come back next week to hear what I have to say about the next episode. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wishing you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Bye for now.